This is Series 2, Episode 3. Today is the 16th of January 2022, and this is my weekend stock market update. In this video I'll talk about the general market conditions, then I will talk about two stocks that I've mentioned previously because they appear to be doing pretty well and could be about to break out. Then I'll show you a stock that could also be about to break out because there are some pockets of strength in this market. Although I'm bearish, that I can see some industries that are doing quite well. Everything I talk about in this video is for informational purposes only. If you decide to take action upon that information, that is your decision. You are responsible for all of your trading decisions. First thing to note, on Monday, the 17th of January, there is a holiday in the US, so the markets are likely to be quiet. So bear that in mind. And also, we're now approaching or in just coming to the beginning of earnings season. So we will see some stocks moving, but at the moment I'm just going to show you what I'm seeing in the current market. Let me start with this weekly Nasdaq Composite chart, just so you can see where price is now. I've talked about this major support here. This is the 15,000 level. And let me go down to the daily chart now. If you didn't watch my last episode last week, episode 2, I strongly advise you to watch that to understand what I'm talking about now, because I talked about why I think the markets are about to turn. I went into a lot of detail there. I'm not going to go over all of that detail, so I really highly recommend that you watch that previous video. So the Nasdaq is at this key level that I talked about last week, 15,000, and I was worried that if we break it, if we got lower, then that would be a negative sign. Well, you can see as we broke lower, there was a lot of selling came in, and immediately in the same day price came all the way back up again. Lots of buyers came back into the market, and I promise you lots of novices would have jumped in and bought new positions. This is why you need to be careful. What happened? It went up for a short period, and I did explain this last week. This might happen. Sucks in new traders. This looks to be a what they call a scolded cat bounce. So it sucked in new traders, and now it's immediately rejected. Price has been rejected and immediately come back down again. So we're now below this key support 15,000, as you can see by this bar. Not good price action on the Nasdaq Composite. Let me go over to the Dow Jones now. I'll show you the weekly chart on the Dow Jones. Again, last week I talked about this price action. I explained everything in detail. We've just taken out the low of this weekly price bar. The low has been taken out there. That is a negative sign to me. This does show slightly indecisive behavior, and I don't like the fact we're at these major highs at a round number, just above this round number. So I've talked about all of this previously. Don't like it. Not taking any trades personally, but you might want to. But I'll show you the daily chart now on this Dow Jones chart. So price appears to be holding currently at this trend line here. I don't expect it to hold too long, but of course I could be wrong. And I have talked about this head and shoulders pattern that I can see. I talked about all of that last week. So again, I'm not going to go over that. But again, the price action, like I said, is holding here on this trend line. Don't know how long this is going to hold. It might bounce from here. I don't know. But like I keep reiterating, I'm not personally taking any new trades, and I am bearish on the markets currently. Let me show you finally the S&P 500 chart. Now this is really interesting for me because I have talked about this trend line many times in the past, but I've made it really clear on this particular chart for you, so the arrows point to why I've drawn this trend line in. And look what the price has done again. It's held at this trend line this week. It's incredible how this trend line seems to be holding, but you can also see that if it breaks, this could spell a lot of problems. So we've got to be very, very mindful of this trend line on the S&P 500. This is a weekly time frame, but it is a very important trend line. It's so strong, but it's just amazing how that held right on that trend line again. Eventually this buy on the dip mentality is going to fail, and it will fail miserably, and people will lose money if they're not careful. So take a note of that S&P chart. I also want to show you the daily chart, so I'll do that now. So price, obviously I can move this slightly, but price It's pretty much held on this trend line. But last week I couldn't see this particular pattern. I can now see a head and shoulders top here. So here is your shoulder, here is your head, and then let me explain it. So price hit the trend line, came up, created this second shoulder, the right hand side of the shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, negative price action, price comes down, and this is the, you could regard this as the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. So really guys, it's really critical, this level, this trend line. I don't think I can emphasize that any more in any other way. This is extremely important, this trend line on the S&P 500, because it's head and shoulders top now. The price action on the higher time frame is not good. We break this trend line with conviction, it's not a good sign. So draw it on your charts. So that's the S&P 500. So that's most of the negativity out of the way, and I could be completely wrong guys, and I've timed this incorrectly, but me personally, I'm not taking any new trades. I have my longer term positions which I'll just keep open, and I will be looking for buying opportunities as price falls. But of course it could rebound. I can't predict the future, and as the market develops I will do more updates. Now let me talk about some positive stuff here. So let me go over to another stock chart. This is Freeport McMoran, FCX is the ticker symbol. I talked about this last year, the end of last year, to buy at this at 38.50 I think it was, and yeah, it caused a little bit of pain. I personally got out for a small profit, but because I was worried about the Omicron variant, but I was wrong. I wish I didn't get out, because this is doing nicely now. Look at that. If anyone's in this trade I'd love to know, but I remember someone commenting saying, oh, this is run up and all the easy money has been made, blah blah blah. That's fine, everyone's got their opinion, but this is a very strong stock, in line with the recent bill that was passed by the government in the US. So this is doing well guys, and this is actually just, I already drew a cup of handle pattern in previously, but this is an even stronger cup of handle pattern now. So we're actually breaking out of a cup of handle pattern on FCX. It is a nice trade. If you took it where I announced a possible trade, you would be doing very well on this trade at this point. So I'd love to know if anyone took that, because yeah, it's breaking out now, and despite the negativity in the markets at the minute, this is doing well. There is another stock that I recently talked about as well, so I'm going to go over and show you that one now. So I talked about this. This was the first video I did of this year, so episode 1 of series 2, and I talked about this great big cup and handle pattern, and I talked about this level. I said that this would be a really nice buy area if we could get it, and it's unbelievable how it literally held where I said it was going to. Now, it's not because I'm a genius, it's just price action. I explained all of this in the video, and I'll put this up on the top right hand corner now. But yeah, this is also breaking out of this bigger cup of handle. You might want to look at that video as well, because that is trying to break out now of this, what looks to be a cup of handle and flag pattern. So that's another lovely looking stock, and if you took the entry that I talked about, you'd be doing pretty well on this stock at this point. So those are two really nice stocks. They're breaking out, so hopefully, I don't know if anyone's paying much attention to my videos, but yeah, I didn't get any of these trades because I was too nervous about the markets, but if you did, you are making good money on these two trades. Now, to end the video, I'm going to talk about a new stock that could be about to break out, so let me go over to that chart and talk about that for you now. So here it is. I think this looks like it's going to break out, and I'll tell you why. So you can't really tell on this chart, this is a weekly chart, but this company, CNX Resources, ticker symbol CNX, that is a company that's involved in the energy sector, but particularly coal. Now that, from what I can see, the coal industry at the moment, although it won't, I'm sure that not everyone wants to get involved in coal stocks because it's unclean energy, but what I can tell you guys is that particular energy, coal, particularly stock area, coal is doing extremely well at the minute. So this stock, I think, is on the verge of breaking out. Now, for novices or people who don't really understand the stock market, they're going to look at this and say, this is really high, I don't want to take it. $15 is a cheap stock, by the way, but in terms of the price where it was and where it is now, it is a high price stock to most novices. But I will explain why I think it could be about to break out. So I will go down to the daily chart and draw this in for you. So this is the same stock now, but on a daily time frame. But look at that, guys, that is a cup. Very beautiful looking cup just forming. And what can happen, you don't always need a handle. This could just break out now. And because it's in such a strong sector, coal, it could just break out and go off to the races. If you wanted to be a bit more conservative, then you might want to wait to see what happens and then wait for a handle to form on this cup on this cup, and maybe try and take it at $15. But if, I'm just explaining the potential here, if this breaks this high point here by 10 cents, this is a confirmed breakout in a very, very strong sector, which is coal. And the energy sector as a whole, particularly oil and gas, is doing really well. So guys, there is another trade idea for you. Like I said, you might want to wait and try and get in at $15. Entirely up to you. I can't tell you how to trade, but this does look like it's about to pop, as in a positive way, pop upwards. So that's my analysis of that stock, and that completes this video for the weekend. Hope you enjoyed it. I will continue to do these videos every weekend, and I release them at 8 AM every week on the Sunday. That's 8 AM GMT every Sunday. So if you're interested to watch those, then please subscribe and like the video. And of course, if you want, please comment. Speak to you soon, guys. Thank you very much for watching.